Welcome back to the Yoga Challenge, day 3. So today's class we are going to do seated poses and talk about sitting. Now, when I do seated poses, I like to add a blanket because it makes them easier. Let me show you what I'm talking about. When we sit down, so most of us are used to sitting in a chair, right? Our hips are a little tighter. The tendency is just to do a simple cross-legged, knees are up, back is rounded. It's just not very comfortable. But when you add a lift, and I like to call it a lift because it doesn't really have to be a blanket. It could be, I find cushions from a couch to be really good because they tend to be firm, or a beach blanket can be good. Mexican blankets make great ones. Just you need it to be firm because if you sit on it and squish down to the floor, it's not really doing you any good. Okay, so now that I'm a little bit higher, it just helps. I know it's hard to see. I need white pants. That would help tremendously. But it gets you a little bit higher on sit bones, makes you more comfortable. You can even make this higher. I mean, there are days when I make it higher and higher just to get a little bit more comfort, and you feel it usually in the lower back. Okay, so we are going to start in a pose that's called Sukhasana or easy pose. That's how it translates. I think it was named by a culture where this is an easy pose. In our culture, not as easy. So when you've got your feet in Sukhasana, there's a number of ways to cross your legs. In Sukhasana, the feet are actually out away from the body slightly, feet beneath the knees, so that the shins are almost parallel to each other. They're kind of stacked like logs, if you will, in a fireplace. So they're not tucked in, it's not tight in. This is when I wish I could have a second camera and you could see from above what it looks like. All right, so you're sitting, right? You're sitting in Sukhasana. Now, the first thing you want to tap into are your sit bones. Now, the sit bones are the bones at the very base of your pelvis, okay? You can actually feel them in there. I always joke they're deeper than some of us and others, but they're definitely there. You want to be right on top of those. And the tendency for us is either to be behind them or in front in a really rigid stance. You want to be right on top. When you're right on top, your pelvis is level. When the pelvis is level, the back can have its neutral curves. We're supposed to have a concave curve in our lower back. It's supposed to scoop in, right? That lumbar curve. If the pelvis is tipped back, it flattens and rounds. If it tips forward, it arches and creates hardness. Okay? So you want to have that neutral pelvis to find that neutral spine. You have it? And then you're able to lift just like we did in Tadasana, right? You want to ride the roller coaster, but you got to be that much taller. So you're going to lift. You're going to roll the shoulders back and down. And relax this. Relax here. We're not holding ourselves up from there. We're engaging down here so that this can be relaxed. Isn't that nice? Okay, next we're going to do shoulder rolls. Now I'm going to turn to the side so you can see this. You don't need to turn to the side. I just want to show you how to do these because these are the things I want you to be doing all the time. Okay, I've shared with you a couple of poses. It was the wall push and the lunges, right, that we want to do regularly. This one too. Shoulder rolls help open up that upper back, the tension we carry in the upper back. So they look like this, and you can go ahead and do them with me. So you're moving from the shoulder blades, okay, but then notice I'm going to start rocking back and forth on the sit bones too. And what this does is it helps pull in the spine too, so you can really loosen up. I'm hitting the microphone, sorry about that. I hope you're not getting too many fuzzies from it, cackling. It really opens up that spine, that upper back. We have so much rigidity in the upper back. Go ahead and change direction. So now we're going back. We start going forward, we end to going back, and there's method to my madness, so follow along. So we have so much rigidity in that upper back because of our positions that we hold, tension, so many reasons. One more, and really squeeze the shoulder blades together as you release and take it down. Can you feel the difference? Isn't that awesome? It's a total exhale, isn't it? All right. Now bring your arms out to the side and you're going to externally rotate, feel broad across the heart. We've done this one before. You want to expand through, like you're turning the upper arm out to where you are. You're turning from the upper arm. And then inhale, bring the arms up, really tall, and twist to your right, okay? So you're going to twist to your right, and you're going to lift tall as you revolve. Feel broad across the heart. Breathe. Come back through the center, sweep those arms up and overhead again, and go the other way. Feel broad across the heart as you revolve, and you want to stay on both sit bones. So sometimes we tip over to the side we're twisting toward, but you want to be on both of them, lengthening up. Come back through the middle, sweep those arms up, lift the heart, arc up, and swan dive forward, right from the hip hinge. Now, when we forward fold, it doesn't come from rounding, okay? It comes from a lift, and you're folding right at the hip hinge. So you're getting right into the hips. And then come back up. Now change the cross of your legs. Really important to do that because you want to stay balanced in your body. So doing the right and left side helps keep you balanced. All right, so getting up on top of those sit bones again. Remember, we're going to tip that pelvis forward. Can you feel how it arcs? Tip the pelvis back. Feel how you round. And then come back to the center. And draw the belly in and up. Shoulders relax. Now we're going to stretch the neck a little bit. Take the back of your right hand and place it right at the base of your spine. Roll that shoulder back and then take your left ear down to your left shoulder. So we do that because you get this really nice stretch down into the shoulder when you do this. You're going to relax your jaw and your tongue and breathe. Turn the head down. And bring your head back up and release. Just take a breath. Feel the difference between the right and left side of your neck. Isn't that nice? Ah. Now take the other hand behind your back. Roll the shoulder back and down, lift tall. Take your right ear down to your right shoulder and just breathe. Turn your head down. Keep breathing. Feel the stretch. And bring your head back up and release. Now take the arms out to the side. We're going to do the twist and the forward fold again. Now that we're crossed on the other side, we want to do those again to keep ourselves balanced. So arms out. Externally rotate, broad across the heart. Inhale, come on up. Twist to your right. It's always important to twist to the right first for digestive purposes. So you're feeling both sit bones still. You're not tipping over to the one you're twisting toward. Feeling broad across the heart. Come back through the center, arms sweep up. And go right over to the other side. Feeling broad across the heart. Breathe. Come back through the center, sweep those arms up. This time, let's add a little arc up with your heart. So lift your heart up into a little tiny baby back bend up there. Isn't that nice? Swan dive forward, coming right from that hip hinge again. Remember, we're moving from the hips, not the spine. Shoulders down the back. And then come back up. Now, that whole series you could do sitting in your desk chair, okay? Super easy, sitting at your desk, take a really quick stretch break. It took us maybe 5 minutes to go through all of that, maybe 6. Kind of nice, huh? Okay, so now bring your legs out in front of you. We're going to do a couple of seated poses to get into the hips a little bit more. So long through the legs. We're going to do, the first one is called Baddha Konasana. And FYI, I should also mention, this one's called Dandasana. And it generally feels pretty awkward because our hamstrings tend to be really tight. And we also need a really strong core to get ourselves up on top of the sit bones, because when you're on your sit bones, then the spine feels better. If you're, here, it definitely feels tense. So this one, just so you know, when we're here, feel free to bend the knees a little if you need to, because it'll alleviate discomfort in the lower back. Nice. Okay, now you're going to move into Baddha Konasana. So you're going to put the soles of the feet together. This is called bound angle pose. Soles of the feet together, knees are wherever they are, y'all, really. Wherever they are, they need to be. That's just fine. Going to grab onto the ankles and use the ankles to help you lift and draw the shoulder blades down your back. Take a couple of breaths. Now here's where you may notice a little bit of tension in the jaw or the tongue, so you can kind of open it up and release. Now, if you're not sure if you have tension in the tongue, often people have it on the roof of their mouth. Like the tip could be on the roof or the whole tongue. That's tension. Let it relax into the bottom jaw, and then you'll know it's relaxed. Now go ahead and come forward right from that hip hinge, reaching out with the heart. Kind of a doozy, isn't it? Now watch yourself. I will say, you may not be able to come forward. Realize that you're already in a 90-degree fold in this pose. Okay, so it's okay to not come forward. It's okay to be here. If your knees are really high, sit up higher. You can even have a seat on your block. If you have a block, that's totally fine, just for this pose. I wouldn't sit on a block for the cross-legged or the next one we're going to do, but just for this one. Okay, so let's come out of it. Grab onto the knees, and you're going to help the legs come out wide for Upavishya Konasana, or open angle pose. See if I can scooch back a little bit here. There we go. So this one's a bit of a doozy. You can bring your legs a little closer, and it's okay to bend the knees here if you need to. And just get as tall as you can, right up on top of those sit bones. Not rolling back, not rolling forward. Open across the heart. Good. Now with this one, we're going to twist. So bring your right hand in front. I lied. Bring your left hand in front. Right arm comes up. You're going to twist. Lift really tall as you twist toward your right leg. Breathe, preferably. And then come back to the center and other side. Bring the arm up, twist, lift tall. Usually feels pretty good to twist when you're first learning how to do the seated poses, because the tendency is to get a little tension in that upper back. And then come back, take a breath, bring the feet back. And let's do one more. Mrityasana 3. And I'm going to turn to the side because I think you'll be able to see me better what I'm doing from the side. So you're going to pull up. You're going to bring up your right foot. So you can see what I'm doing. Just set it down. Yep, if I'll do this one. So let me do this leg and then you can see it better. And you're going to bring the opposite arm around to hold onto the leg, and then take that same arm around for a twist. Isn't that nice? Thought you could use a little bit more twisting after all those forward folds. Feeling broad across the heart. And then you can release. You definitely want to be up on a blanket for this one. You don't want to be rolling back on your sit bone. Other side. Hold on to the knee and then bring that arm up and around. Breathe. Bring the leg out. And now remember, when you're here, feel free to have a little bend in your knee if you need it. Take a few breaths. All right. Thank you for joining me from day 3 of the challenge. I can't wait to share with you more tomorrow. Tomorrow will be on day 4 of our challenge. Thanks for joining me. May you be inspired to live your extraordinary life, and I can't wait to see you again.